चलो fine. Fatigue muscle. Fatigue muscle means tired muscle. Muscle is tired. Okay, tiredness. What happened here? See, generally when we are doing the muscular work and give the rest period in between two successive contraction. Okay? At that time, muscle is aerobically respired. Muscle is aerobically respired. Means when you perform the muscular movement for a short period of time, then after doing activity, you take little bit rest. Again you will do the some work. Again you will take the rest. So muscle perform aerobic respiration. This is not applicable here. But if you don't give the rest period during contraction, if we perform prolonged time contraction in our muscle, at that time instead of aerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration occurs. And due to anaerobic respiration, lactic acid fermentation occurs and lactic acid is accumulated in the muscle and muscle become tired. So accumulation of the lactic acid due to anaerobic respiration in the muscle, okay, that phenomenon is known as fatigue muscle. Okay? આપણે ક્યારેક માઉન્ટેન ક્લાઇમ્બિંગ કરીએ તો ઓલા ગોટલા ચડી જાય કેવું કંઈક થાય ને આ ગોટલા ચડી જાય ને that is fatigue muscle. અચ્છા એવું છે. હા અમને તો એવી જ ખબર હોય ગોટલા ચડે પછી થોડા દિવસ રેસ્ટ લઈ લો એટલે પછી બધું બધું એવું. અચ્છા આ ચડી ગયા હતા તો ઉતરે જ ને માઉન્ટેન કે ગોટલા. પૂછી લેવું ચાલ અચ્છા. Now what happened if due to more amount of lactic acid accumulation, lactic acid is now moved when you take the rest. When you take the proper rest, then muscle will be normal. How? Lactic acid in fatigue muscle. Due to lactic acid formation, fatigue muscle there. From fatigue muscle, lactic acid move to the liver. And in liver, lactic acid is broken down and again converted into glucose. Generally, lactic acid is formed from the glucose, but it is the product of anaerobic respiration. But when you take the rest, at that time, this lactic acid is back converted into glucose, and that glucose is undergoes the aerobic respiration and give us the energy to do the work. Okay, and the muscle become normal. Okay, so that is known as fatigue muscle. There are two types of muscles which are going to be fatigued, except cardiac muscle. Yes, skeletal muscles are rapidly fatigable. Smooth muscles are also fatigable. You know that heart attack is due to myocardial infarction. I told to you yesterday that myome is muscle, cardiome is heart. Infarction, inadequate oxygen supply. Due to that, muscle is contracted rapidly. In heart attack, person feels the heaviest chest pain. So that muscle is strongly contracted. But in our smooth muscles are present in our body that are also fatigable. Okay, so fatigue muscle means due to prolonged muscle contraction muscle is anaerobically respired and produce lactic acid. Fine. And it is accumulated. Skeletal muscles and smooth muscles are going to be fatigued. Okay, now types of skeletal muscle. This is the last topic of the muscle. Fine. This is the last topic of the muscle. Type of the skeletal muscles, two types. Red muscles and white muscles. Okay. Please remember, in muscle, what protein is there? Yes, in our blood, hemoglobin, it is a protein. Hemoglobin is a protein. So similarly, in our blood, hemoglobin is there. Similar to that in our muscles, myoglobin is also there. Okay, so according to the amount of the myoglobin, there are two types of the muscles, red muscles and white muscles. So red muscles in that more myoglobin, here less myoglobin. Then red muscles in that more mitochondria, less endoplasmic reticulum. Whereas in the white muscles fiber, less mitochondria, more endoplasmic reticulum. Red muscles are aerobically respired. White muscles are anaerobically respired. Red muscles are non-fatigable. These are fatigable. For example, understand every point? Can I continue? So here more amount of the mitochondria there in the red muscle fibers. That's why muscle is working for a prolonged time. And muscle is working aerobically. For example, flat muscles of the wings in birds. Birds are flying for long distance. Okay, so that wing muscles are never tired. But eyeball muscles, eye muscles are different and eyeball muscles are different. Muscles of eyeballs in human being. Okay, when you move your eye in your orbit rapidly, giddiness occurs. Do that. Do that rapid movement of the eyeball muscles. It cannot prolong time contracting. Okay? એટલા માટે આપણે મેજોરિટી શું કરીએ છીએ ખબર છે? We are moving our neck as well as little bit movement of eye. તમે જોજો તમે અત્યારે તો જો કે ફન ફેર તો આ વખતે નહોતો બરાબર તમે એમાં જાઓ પછી કોઈ રાઈડ જે છે બહુ રેપિડલી મૂવ થતી હોય ને તમારે એક જગ્યાએ જોવાનું આમ રેપિડલી મૂવ થતી હોય ને તમે થાકી જશો મૂવીમાં એવું બહુ થાય મૂવીમાં અમુક સીન એવા હોય બહુ રેપિડલી એ શૂટિંગ કરતા હોય એવી રીતે images. બરોબર? So when you rapidly move your eyeball, you do on your body, you will feel that. After few seconds you feel giddiness, ચક્કર આવશે થોડા. Right? So that is the example of the white muscle. So everything about the muscle is over. Okay, fine. Anybody has any doubt related to muscle? Can ask me. Muscle માં આટલું જ છે. Anybody has any doubt related to muscle? Can ask me. Over. Chalo, 5. Skeletal system. Skeletal system consists bones and cartilage. Okay, can you know these words?
Yes.
Okay, tell me the meaning. What is the meaning of bone and cartilage? Cartilage gives. Difference between bone and cartilage. No answer? Bone is compact. Bone is compact or hard, and cartilage is soft and movable. Okay, bone is hard. Yes, we have two types of bones. Fine, but this we will learn in the animal tissue chapter. We have two types of bone: compact bone and spongy bone. We have two types of bones. તમને બોન્સ માટે એટલી જ ખબર હશે કે આપણી પાસે બોન્સ છે, but the centermost portion of the bone is spongy, just like a sponge. Okay? And periphery region, it is compact, that is hard. So in bone, periphery region is hard and center portion is spongy. And in this spongy middle portion of the bone, one thing is present, very, very important, bone marrow. Have you ever heard this bone marrow?
Yes.
This bone marrow is the main lymphatic organ of the body, which gives the rise to form all the blood cells. So in the blood cancer case, bone marrow transplantation is successful nowadays. Okay? So we have two types of bone marrow left. Bone માં two types કહેતા પછી એમાં spongy bone એમાં two types. Yes, we have two types of bone marrow, red bone marrow and yellow bone marrow. Yellow bone marrow consists fatty tissue. It stores the fat. Whereas red bone marrow, it is red in color. અને તમને ખબર હોય તો fat is generally yellowish in color. એ ખબર છે કે નથી ખબર? Fat is generally yellowish in color. Fine. And due to deposition of fat and appearance of the yellowish color of the fat, yellow bone marrow is present. Whereas red bone marrow is reddish in color because richest blood supply and it produces the RBCs. Okay, so we have two types of the connective tissue, bone and cartilage. So bone is compact, or you say that hard, and cartilage is soft and movable. अच्छा, आ stable है, compact and hard, that is stable and non-movable, or immovable, जे कोई, okay, bones move ना થાય, joints move થાય, ये clear રાખજો. Okay, can you know that newborn baby consists all the bones in the cartilaginous form?
Yes.
Newborn baby consists all the cartilaginous bone. We say that papery bones. Newborn baby is unable to carry the weight over the limbs. Gradually, when nutrition can be taken, calcium and phosphorus both are accumulated in the muscles and bones, and gradually the bone become compact, become hard and able to bear its weight. Then and then the child is able to move or locomote. So after birth, in our body, all the bones are in the cartilaginous form. Gradually the age is going on, the cartilaginous bone become compact bone, hard bone. But some are as it is maintained in the cartilaginous form itself throughout the life. Can you give me the example? Ear. Wrong. Ear pinna, not ear, this one only. Okay? This was cartilage, is cartilage and will be cartilage throughout the life. And another example, tip of the nose, not a nose. Third example. Which? Sorry? Can't get your point.
Trachea.
Trachea, okay. Trachea. ટ્રેકિયામાં કાર્ટિલેજ. Where? Trachea is cartilage, or inside the trachea is cartilage is present. Clear that. We are present in science, not in the 10th standard. Trachea is not cartilage. Trachea is a muscular tube. It's a part of the respiratory system. Trachea consists cartilage. C-shaped cartilaginous rings present in the trachea, which prevent the collapse of the trachea. Is it given that in the NCERT in 9th, 10th standard? Cartilaginous rings?
Rings of cartilage.
It is also present in bronchi. Trachea is divided into bronchi, no? Trachea is divided into bronchi, and both the bronchi enter inside the lungs. Then bronchioles, terminal bronchioles, alveoli, like that, these features are there. So in the trachea and bronchi, up to certain level, cartilaginous rings are present, C-shaped. It maintains the broadness of the trachea as well as bronchi. But when this C-shaped cartilaginous ring become O-shaped, the trachea, bronchi become narrow, and the person feels difficulty in breathing. That is commonly seen in asthma. You know that in the asthma, person feel breathlessness. अच्छा आपने क्या गया थी क्या भाई आ गया fine. So ear pinna, okay, tip of the nose, and along with that, okay, fine, trachea, in trachea. Then another example of the cartilage apart from this. Yes, Nandini madam. હું ક્વેશ્ચન પૂછ લેનો તો આન્સર જ ન આવે લેવલ 12 નો થઈ જાય. You know it very well. Okay, fine, give the hint to you. It is present in the respiratory tract. Sorry? Present in the respiratory tract itself. Vocal box. Larynx. It's the sound box. Sorry? Yes. Epiglottis. Can you know epiglottis?
Yes, sir.
First time you heard this. Famous છે આ. બાયોલોજીમાં વર્લ્ડ ફેમસ છે. Epiglottis is the covering of glottis. Epiglottis prevent the entry of food in respiratory tract at the time of swallowing. So during swallowing, આપણે જ્યારે ગળીએ છે, at that time our respiration process is stopped. In normal healthy person, huh? Okay, you are doing in your body, પછી ક્યાં એવું થાય કે ના સર respiration start છે, swallowing કે start છે. Congratulations to all. કરો કે ટ્રાય swallowing કરો. માર્ક્સ કયું છે એ ખબર નહીં પડે. Respiration is stopped at that time. For example, we engulf the bolus, bolus. When we engulf the bolus move from the pharynx to the esophagus. Up to that, respiration is stopped because glottis open the esophagus and close the trachea. And after swallowing, the glottis come to its original state. It close the esophagus and generally open the trachea because generally respiration is continued. It's very easy to understand. Fine. So ear pinna cartilage is present in the trachea. Fine. Then tip of the nose, epiglottis, are present in the cartilaginous form throughout the life. But remaining bones or remaining cartilages become compact when the age is going on. Fine? Okay. Fine. Now I will make the list of the functions of the skeletal system. Okay, I have to make a list of it. Can you help me? Movement and locomotion. But can editing કરીએ? Right, movement and locomotion is right. Gives okay. The bones are joined together and form the joint, right? Okay, suppose એવું વિચારો, મસ્ત એવું વિચારો કે આપણા બોડીમાં સ્કેલેટલ સિસ્ટમ જ ન હોત. પછી તમે બધા નીચે બેઠા હો, આમ જોતા હો. અચ્છા એક મિનિટ ઊંધો વિચાર. સપોઝ સ્કેલેટલ સિસ્ટમ છે, મસ્ક્યુલર સિસ્ટમ નથી. Without muscles, imagine કરવાનું. Suppose કીધું એટલે પહેલા. Suppose માં બધું કરીએ. Suppose હું સાયન્સમાં સારા માર્ક્સે પાસ થયો હોત નહીં. Is there a possibility of movement of joints without muscles? Is there a possibility of movement of muscles without joint? No. That's why I told to you in the beginning of this chapter, movement and locomotion Both are interconnected together closely. Yes, but structure and function of the movement and locomotion activity are little bit different. And that's why you know that locomotion is movement, but movement is not locomotion. Clear? So skeletal system gives the site for attachment of the muscles and helpful for movement as well as locomotion. Okay, then another function, carry on. Okay, shape of the body, good. Then okay, it gives the protection to the vital organs of the body, like eyes. Eyes are present here in the optic cavity, that is known as orbit. Here in the skull, we have particular site for attachment of eyes. Okay, so here eyes are present in the orbit, or we say that optic cavity. Brain, lungs, heart, liver, kidney, find all the important excretory organs and reproductive organs are present in the pelvic region. These are protected by the pelvic bones. And so it gives the protection to the vital organs or visceral organs. Fine. Visceral organs are so known as internal organs of the body. Fine. Gives framework to body. Internal framing of the body can be made up of the skeletal system. Bone marrow gives rise to form all the blood cells. RBC, WBC, platelets, all are generated here. It is helpful for storing of the such minerals like calcium and phosphorus. Okay, in our body, total 217 bones are there. Okay, 217. But 217 bones become 17, huh? 217 bones become 206. Okay, so we will count there are 206 bones, and we will divide the skeletal system into two parts and make the chart for this. Okay, so that I will tell you in the next lecture. Okay, here I can stop now.